how can the planets have an effect on us if they're outside the system, and especially star signs, right? Constellations. Like, how can their energy affect us down here if they're
millions and millions of miles away? I used to laugh at that, but they're not. They're right here in the Earth system.
And the other thing is, they're not actually a constellation in the globe model. If we're spinning through space, they just happen to look like that from our perspective, right?
Right. We've seen. They've shown us, like in Cosmos, they say if we saw the Big Dipper from this angle, it wouldn't look like that at all because they're all at different distances. So the parallax would be ridiculous, but none of that's true. It's all pseudoscience. It's all nonsense.
So you're doing lots of you sort of ramped up the interviews, have you, a bit lately?
I have been doing like 20 some odd a week.
20?
Yeah, it was more before. I'm down to about 10 right now for the summer.
Oh wow! Yeah, I think I'd done 5 by Wednesday, and I just couldn't think. I was just like, oh my God, what have I done? It's just lost it. So I don't know how you do it. You're doing well. I saw that guy as well on your app channel who goes out and just talks and offers $200, and then for anyone.
Did I feature him? How'd you see it on the app?
You mentioned him, yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned.
Yeah, you mentioned him somewhere, and I went, oh,
it's in Austin.
Yeah,
Austin, yeah.
Oh,
it's a Globebusters activism channel.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, yeah, kudos to him. He's doing.
Yeah, he gets it.
It's not something I'd probably feel comfortable doing, but we've all got our job to do.
In the world. I am glad everyone gathered so I can tell you guys what's going on in the world. It's so exciting. Alright, so as soon as I tell you this, everyone's going to think I'm crazy, but I don't care. The Earth is flat, and the sky resets around Polaris for all recorded history, which means it's the center of everything. So everyone thinks I'm crazy because I'm a flat earther. So what I do is I offer anyone here $100 cash. $100 cash. Actually, we'll make it $200. We'll make it $200 cash to anyone here that can answer 3 basic questions about the globe Earth model correctly. So I know that that's not real, but if you can answer 3 questions correctly, you get a $200 cash, and you don't have to pay me to play. You don't have to pay if you don't win. And I do this to make a point. All you guys think I'm crazy for thinking the Earth's flat and not believing it's a magic cartoon spinning ball in a vacuum, but no one here knows anything about it. So it's like telling me that you believe in the Bible, but you've never read Genesis before. Well, that's a cool story, but I did read Genesis. So I'll even tell you what the first question is. It's the easiest question I could think of. Supposedly, how many times does the globe Earth spin or rotate every 24 hours? You can even Google it, whatever. If you come up here and you get that question right, and then 2 more questions right, you win $200 cash. $200 cash. So I've been traveling all around the United States, asking people these questions, and no one ever wins the money, but they sit from a distance and ridicule me, right? And then they whisper to each other about how crazy this is, but no one ever comes up here and wins the money. So how can you know that I'm wrong about this or think I'm crazy for not believing in the globe Earth if you don't even know what you believe in? You guys should have learned these questions whenever you were in like 1st grade. You want to try? No. 360 is wrong. Thanks for trying though. How many times does the globe Earth supposedly spin every 24 hours? Once is correct. You want to try a second question? All right, might as well. How far away in the globe model, how far away is the sun? No dumb phones, no Google. How many? 93 million's right. We'll let you play like a group. Okay. What's the radius of the Earth? the surface, that would be the radius. Center to the edge of a circle or a sphere. No cheating, man. Okay, I know, but 250 or 40 miles. No, but y'all got really close. I was actually pulling for you. The radius is 3,959 miles. I take things close to that, like 4,000. I can't give you 250. Boy, I'm impressed. Someone knew the distance of the sun. Yay.
That's the first time.
Yeah, it's like one of the first times someone's even gotten that. So thanks for playing.
Yeah, you've got the same story as pretty much as far as becoming a flat earther as most of us.
We all have the same
you're
story.
pretty much opposed to it, yeah. And,
Yep.
and so how long has it been for you? Like, how many years have you, or when did you
Like
find
2015.
out? When Mark Sargent and all those people sort of started coming out. I actually had people come to my house. I had 2 people come to my house and tell me I had to research flat earth. And I just went, oh, bloody hell, okay. It's just ridiculous.
Were you into Tartaria before that?
It was about the same time. And that's kind of a bit of the reason, I guess, that I wasn't really looking into it. Because I was getting into Sylvie from New Earth. She had a series called When the Survivors Wake Up.
Right.
YouTube have ripped most of it down now, but you can still find it. And that was pretty much, if you talk to all the Tartaria researchers, they all point to that series. They say, yep, that was. And so, yeah, I was sort of going off on star forts and all this kind of stuff at that point. And, everyone said, flat Earth is a psyop. I mean, you're into Tartaria. Did you look into it much at all?
Oh, yeah. I'm way into it. I got a Tartaria button on the app. It's, I got some good stuff on there.
Oh, yeah, right. Cool.
Do you have any, like...
I'll have to get your app.
Absolute...
I hope it's loaded.
Do you have any, like...
full of my videos.
I don't... there's actually someone else that's running the playlist. Some Tartaria guy. But do you have like an awesome Tartarian building that what's like your favorite couple Tartarian buildings, like in the middle of nowhere? Do you have any great photos that you could send me? Yeah,
I'm actually just looking into a town called Geraldton. And it's, I don't know if you know WA, like Western Australia, we're pretty much like the whole state. It's bigger than Texas and it's pretty much a desert, the whole thing. The southwest corner's got a bit. So this town it's on the coast, but it's in the middle of nowhere, like literally in the middle of nowhere. And they've got big domed cathedrals there that they reckon they were building in the 1850s. And I haven't even really looked into it, where the hell they reckon they got the rock from or anything. But this place is, back in the 1850s, it would have been months just to get there from Perth. So, and then Kalgoorlie is another one, which is a mining town in the middle of the desert. And it was built in, like they reckon the whole town was built in, 10 months? And same thing, big brick buildings, arches, columns.
It's all nonsense.
Yeah. Well, the question is now is like, when was the date? Like how much? Because that keeps getting closer. I mean, probably 1850s, I think, was the most recent. But then, World War II was a reset. Or the continuation of one, I guess. They were just in there destroying cities and architecture and transporting people around the world and all this kind of crap.
I know, it's crazy. Is it happening right now? Are we going into a reset?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, bloody oath. I was actually going to ask, like, because there's all this talk about solar minimums.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
I mean, it might have something to do with the cycle, and it's. I don't know, man. Did you watch the EWARANON series?
I was just about to say, do you think it's got anything to do with that?
You think about it, it explains ice ages, it explains everything. The whole realm is circling around. The whole melted pond is moving around the realm in the great year, 25,000 years. Every 2,160 years, it moves 15 degrees. It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect fucking
It
sense.
does, and it also explains. Have you seen the map problem with
What's
the
the map problem?
tropics? On
What
all
problem?
the maps, and even on Google Earth,
Oh,
the
yeah,
tropics are the tropics of Capricorn and Cancer, right?
Yeah.
And that's from 2 ages ago.
Yeah.
So that would also explain why we don't have the maps, because you think about it, the maps would be like half the realm or something, wouldn't they? Half of the known, you know, they wouldn't be what we see
Quarter.
now. So they've got maps from last time that we were here.
Maybe.
And that's what they're showing us.
Wow. Fucked up. I can't take it anymore. I really can't.
So this is, I mean,
it's so fucked up. The whole world is so what's a fucking lie. Everything. Everything.
It is.
And we're the
I
crazy
had
ones.
Two women after they saw that, they told me they cried when they were watching that Ewa bit, and then when he showed the Earth moving, like 2 women like told me, "Oh my God, that made me cry."
Yeah, it's so fucking. It so makes so much sense.
It does, yeah. I saw you've got like 200,000 views on your mirror of that.
250,000. It was actually 270,000, and then I woke up in the morning. It was 230,000. Oh. They're already fucking pulling views off. Of it.
Backwards.
Yeah, I guess some people unwatched it.
But that's yeah, exactly. I don't like that. I'm going to watch it in reverse. It's like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, right? Just put it in reverse.
It's such a good thing. Guy did a great job.
Oh, he did such a good job. I was going to contact him, but then it's pretty clear he's not really into being contacted. He just wants to do his stuff. That's fair enough. But I'm just amazed because, you know, there's probably 5 at least people I've seen who have mirrored it, and they've all got a lot of views.
Yeah, I put it on the app. You have my app?
No. Yeah.
It's actually a permanent button.
I would like to get it just to. Yeah, right. So that's yeah, okay. And that takes them to the YouTube, yeah. So that's where a lot of the views come from.
Yeah. Well, I featured it as a featured video. No, did I feature it as one video or did I feature it separate? No, I featured it in separate parts. Then I put it on the app. So yeah, it's getting a lot of views there. But people are just sharing it everywhere. So it needs 2 billion views.
Yeah, bizarre. Yeah, like you say, he does it so well, and the way that he shows the water system, like that's just some good work there. You know, he shows how all the water's connected up to all the fountains and all this stuff, and that's something I'm going to look into is plumbing.
How about those old world buildings that having no heating system?
I don't know if you.
What did they do about heating? I mean, did they have current going through all of the bricks and it just was self-regulating?
Maybe radium. Have you heard of radium?
Yeah. I know all about it.
They used to have like radium heaters. You know the fireplaces, how a lot of them have metal backs on them.
Yeah.
And they have the twin poles. And if you put radium in there, it lasts like a little piece will last like a year or something, and it just radiates heat. And it's illegal now, of course, because it'll kill you apparently. So
or not.
Just like mercury.
Have you seen the stuff with red mercury?
So
have you looked into that? The fuck is up with that?
Yeah. There's a video and someone's got they put it in like a round vial and put it down and they get a piece of garlic. Have you seen that?
It pushes it away and the gold attracts it.
And the red mercury runs away. And,
yeah.
And the gold attracts it. Yeah.
And then the reflection in the mirror, it doesn't look red. The fuck's up with that?
It doesn't reflect.
Yeah.
It does, yeah. I saw you've got like 200,000 views on your mirror of that.
250,000. It was actually 270,000, and then I woke up in the morning. It was 230,000. Oh. They're already fucking pulling views off. Of it.
Backwards.
Yeah. I guess some people unwatched it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like that. I'm going to watch it in reverse. Like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, right? Just put it in reverse.
Guy did a great job.
Oh, he did such a good job. I was going to contact him, but then it's pretty clear he's not really into being contacted. He just wants to do his stuff. That's fair enough. But I'm just amazed because, you know, there's probably 5 at least people I've seen who have mirrored it, and they've all got a lot of views.
Yeah, I put it on the app. You have my app?
No. Yeah. No, I will get it though. Yeah, no.
You don't have to get
I've
it.
seen you talk about.
It's actually a permanent button.
I was actually going to ask, like, because there's all this talk about solar minimums.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
I mean, it might have something to do with the cycle, and you know, it's. I don't know, man. Did you watch the EWARANON series?
I was just about to say, do you think it's got anything to do with that?
You know, you think about it, it explains ice ages. It explains everything. The whole realm is circling around. The whole melted pond is moving around the realm in the great year, 25,000 years. Every 2,160 years, it moves 15 degrees. It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect fucking sense.
And it also explains. Have you seen the map problem with
What's
the
the
tropics? On all the maps, and even on Google Earth, the tropics are the tropics of Capricorn and Cancer, right?
Yeah.
And that's from 2 ages ago.
Yeah.
So that would also explain why we don't have the maps, because you think about it, the maps would be like half the realm or something, wouldn't they? Half of the known, you know, they wouldn't be what we see now. So they've got maps from last time that we were here.
Maybe.
And that's what they're showing us.
Wow. Fucked up. I can't take it anymore. I really can't.
So this is, I mean,
it's so fucked up. The whole world is so much a fucking lie. Everything. It is. And we're the crazy ones.
Two women, after they saw that, they told me they cried when they were watching that Ewa bit, and when he showed the Earth moving. Like 2 women, like told me, "Oh my God, that made me cry."
Yeah, it's so fucking. It makes so much sense.
Yeah, like you say, he does it so well, and the way that he shows the water system, like that's just some good work there. You know, he shows how all the water's connected up to all the fountains and all this stuff, and that's something I'm going to look into is plumbing.
What did they do about the heating? I mean, did they have current going through all of the bricks and it just was self-regulating?
Maybe. Radium. Have you heard of radium?
Yeah. I know all about it.
They used to have like radium heaters. You know, the fireplaces, how a lot of them have metal backs on them.
Yeah.
And they have the twin poles. And if you put radium in there, it lasts like a little piece will last like a year or something, and it just radiates heat. And it's illegal now, of course, because it'll kill you apparently. So
or not.
Just like mercury.
Have you seen the stuff with red mercury? So have you looked into that? The fuck is up with that?
Yeah. There's a video and someone's got, they put it in like a round vial and put it down, and they get a piece of garlic. Have you seen that?
It pushes it away and the gold attracts it.
And the red mercury runs away. And,
yeah.
And the gold attracts it. Yeah.
And then the reflection in the mirror, it doesn't look red. The fuck's up with that?
It doesn't reflect.
You know, in the flat Earth model, or the model that I believe is that the Earth is a flat, extended plane. We don't know how far it goes. It's extended, could go on forever. Don't know. It could be in the middle of a toroidal field. We're in the flat plane inside of that toroidal field, and we're living on that plane. There, we're living in this flat plane, 3-dimensional flat plane, and the sun and the moon and all the luminaries that we see circle around in fixed positions. The sun, the moon, and the wandering stars, now called planets, they have their own paths. Everything is like gears on a clock because they repeat, and they're predictable. They're not, they don't have to deal with the 3-body problem. And they circle around. The sun, migrates in between the tropics. I'm going to share my app and show you how that actually, what's actually happening. So this is the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac clock app, and it basically shows you the sky is a clock. The sun is the hour hand on the clock. It goes around once a day. It migrates in between the 2 tropics. Right now, it's just over the Tropic of Cancer. so us in the inner north, in the Arctic area, have the sun arcing around us, and it's our summer because the sun is close to us. But you guys out here in Australia, it's colder because the sun is farther away. But if I jump the sun 6 months forward to December, January, it's now over the Tropic of Capricorn, and you guys have your summer because the sun goes right over your heads. And it's in the inner north, we're having our winter. So if you're in southern Australia, you're in what I call the Antarctic, because the sun is antarcing around and away from you. It's not going around you. And if you're in the inside of Cancer, Tropic of Cancer, the sun is arcing around you, the Arctic. It's arcing around you. So that's the Arctic and the Antarctic, and the seasons are caused just by the sun being close and close to you and above you, or far and away and below. And the way I describe it is, imagine if the two of us were sitting outside in a freezing cold. It's below freezing, and we're 20 feet apart, and somebody's holding a big warm heat lamp 10, 15 feet over your head, directly over your head. Well, that's your summer sun. It's above you. It's radiating down. It's close to you. It's high in your sky. It's directly above you. But if I looked at that from 15 feet away, it's lower in the sky. It's farther away from me. I'm having my winter. I could barely feel the heat. It's low. And then if I kept it at the same height and the person brought it over me, that's now my summer sun over Tropic of Cancer. You're farther away. You see it lower in the sky. That's your winter sun. It's lower in the sky. That's how seasons work on the flat Earth. That's a great question. And the question is, why does the sun would have to move faster over the Tropic of Capricorn, where you can see it right now? So imagine I'm standing up. I believe that the sun and the moon that we see are more of a projection or a reflection into our reality, into our sky screen, I call it. And so imagine you're standing in a room and you have a flashlight and you're pointing it at the floor about 3 feet out from you, and you turn around once per minute. Well, that's going to draw a circle with a 6-foot diameter around you, and it goes around once per minute. Now just point that flashlight beam 10 feet out from you. Okay. Well, that's gonna and spin around once per minute. It's gonna go around a circle that is 20 feet in diameter in the same amount of time, because you're spinning at the same amount of time. The source of the sun is just being focused to another point. I believe that the dome above us is like the magnifying glass, just like when you take a magnifying glass and you burn ants with it, or set something on fire. You're focusing a point of light, and if you lift that magnifying glass up 6 inches in the air, that point of light isn't gone. It's just in the air, and that's the sun that we see. It's a focus point of energy, and it's more electric in nature than a burning ball of hydrogen, which is nonsense. Like the International Space Station, they tell us it's going 17,000 miles an hour. Well, I live on the East Coast in America, and we have transits that go up to 8 minutes long. Well, 17,000 miles an hour times 8 minutes is, it would go all the way to the West Coast of America, and I'd be able to see it the whole time. The problem is I live in Connecticut, and only people on a small swath in Connecticut could see it, and the rest of the country doesn't get to see it as it goes all the way over to California. That makes no sense. So that tells you right there that the thing that you're looking at is something small and something much closer, like an airplane flying at high altitudes. And we have some information, and it makes perfect sense to me, that it's a modified, when we see a transit, not the transit's also actually, but when we see this thing, it's a modified B-2 bomber that has sections of it made out of transparent material, and the whole bottom, in whatever shape they want, is covered in an array of LEDs, set to the perfect light temperature to make it look like it's reflecting sun, but it's not. And also, you can't reflect sun to my eyes and then to someone else's eyes that's standing somewhere else at the same time. It would flicker. They've done all sorts of experiments trying to reflect sun to distant objects, and it just flash, 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 flash. That's not what we see. We see a light go by with an even light. It never flickers, right? The space station, this thing has to be reflecting sunlight to where everyone in the path can see it. Makes no sense. It's provable, scientifically provable, that what we're seeing is an illusion, not an illusion, is a trick, and that this thing, different countries made different parts. They had to make an adapter because they decided to make 2 different doors. So they had to make an adapter for those doors. Never assembled on Earth. It was sent to space, different parts from different countries, and assembled for the first time in space. Not a single picture, not a single video of it being assembled, but we have to believe it's there. And now China, all of a sudden, come last week, they have a space station and there's people on it. No photos, no video, no nothing. Okay. And there's people on the space station, and people actually believe this. This is utter nonsense. So why are they faking everything in space? Everything in space, they're faking. I mean, they were up there and they had a lemon, and they were playing with the lemon, and look, it's not real. It's going right through his hand. This is virtual. It's called augmented reality. Why are they faking everything in space? And the only argument you can come up with is, well, they're hiding the real technology. They don't want us to know. That's a cool story, but it's not a true story. I was there, but I was shown, and I was like, you know what? Wow. I used to believe, like, you know what, the stuff on the moon, they faked it because they didn't want the Russians to know, and the aliens, you know, told us not to come back. You know, I believed all that nonsense. But then I looked at it like that's really the dumbest thing ever. A little embarrassed that I used to believe it, but I'll admit it.
Well, I mean, we all did, you know, we got brought up with Star Wars, so why would we question it? You know, it's
Right.
like, that's
Star
what we
Wars.
wanted. I mean, and that's kind of what they do. It's not like they want you, they make you want it to be real as well, don't they? You know, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's so cool, we can fly around, and it's, you know, it's more than the facts, you know,
Right.
it's more the want and the fantasy of it that they push.
These guys are going straight down. This isn't they're going down. It's all done with, it's all just magic, green screens, zero-G planes, augmented reality. They're faking all of it. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable because some people just can't believe it.
Exactly. I mean, this is the thing, you know, it's such a, you know, the way they've set it up with, you know, the experts and, you know, the intelligent people being the ones who are pushing the narrative, you know, it's sort of, for most people, they just, you know, go with the experts, don't they? They don't question it. They don't want to think about it. So they're like, well, this dude's smart, so I'll just believe what he believes. And they don't really think or look about it. And
they trade in
so
their
this whole illusion, it's
not
not even about the information.
They trade in their common sense for nonsense.
Yeah.
They see stuff like this, either they believe it, oh no, this is the fake stuff. They didn't show you the real stuff. How do you argue with that? I don't have time for that.
Well, it's like you say, a lot of them, you know, once it's sort of out of our realm of being able to touch and feel and you know, sort of manipulate it, we don't really know what it is. You know, it's like Weiss said, you know, the sun might be a projection from the middle.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Up.
I like that idea.
Yeah, I find it interesting. I'm gonna have to buy a pyramid. I was trying to find an experiment. I was just wondering what happens if you shine a light up through a glass pyramid, a crystal pyramid. Does it split into 4?
That's a great question. There's so much to it. On the app, in June, right? We're in July right now. In June, mid to late June, one of the videos I featured, which is in the archive, it's a Freemason anonymously drawing a picture and showing us how the Earth works. And he showed the flat Earth plane with the hole in the middle, with the black sun underneath, projecting up to the dome, how the sun and the moon and the stars are all projected from the middle. And it was pretty interesting, you know, pretty interesting thing. Again, it's beyond what I fully understand. It really is. I mean, this place is amazing. But one thing all flat earthers can totally agree upon, we're not a spinning ball in a space vacuum. Can't happen. You know, you can't have atmosphere next to a vacuum of space. If you believe in the vacuum of space, you're believing in nonsense, right? And they go, well, gravity is holding the air down. Yeah, well, but I can take the weak vacuum of my cheeks and lungs and suck water and air up and away from gravity with no effort, zero effort, tiny bit of effort. But the Tor 17 or whatever vacuum of space can't rip all the air off Earth. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. What I'm showing you in the background is the only proof that we landed a rover on Mars, and people believe this nonsense.
How do they explain tornadoes sucking water up? Because that's against gravity, right?
Right.
I guess they just say the forces are more or something. But
well, you know what?
that's
Tornadoes,
against gravity, which is supposed to be the strongest force.
Right. The force of gravity is not it's not due to mass. It's an electric force. The Earth has a negative charge. The Earth doesn't move. That negative charge attracts things to it. And that sets a down. Hey, down is this direction. And then buoyancy and density sort everything else out. A helium balloon goes up because of the it's being thrusted up by the mass of heavier air that's being pulled below it. Okay. If I drop rocks and ping pong balls over water, the rocks and the ping pong balls will fall through the air. The ping pong balls will sit on top of the water. The rocks will go to the bottom. And that's due to buoyancy and density. But down is down. If you point down right now, you're in Australia. Down is this way. Down is not this way. Down is this way. Okay. We're both in the same plane.
Yeah.
Okay. Down is down, up is up, left and right, forward and back. Those are all relative to where you are, but down is down for everybody, right? That plumb bobs would not work on a curved earth. It doesn't work. Okay. You have to believe that they're all going from different directions, pointing to the center. Who says where the center of the earth is? The atom that's at the center of the earth. How does it know it's at the center? What about the atom that's halfway between the center and the outside? How about he says, hey, I'm the center. Everybody come to me. How come the one in the middle says everybody come to him? It's nonsense. It's all baloney, garbage, and nonsense.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, and the whole gas planet thing, I mean, should really, I don't know, a lot more people should question that, shouldn't they, really? I mean, a gas ball in a vacuum is...
Well, yeah.
Is
So the Big Bang, all the rocks turned into rocky bits, and then all of the gases turned into gas balls and left a vacuum in between. That's the dumbest story ever. It's ridiculous. And people just like, oh yeah, well, science said it, you know, it has to be, otherwise there would nothing here. It's like people just lose their minds over this nonsense because they want to believe in Starfleet Command and space travel and all sorts of ridiculous nonsense. They're mocking us every step of the way. Look, Starfleet Command and Space Force. See, those are the logos for the Starfleet Command and the new Space Force. They're mocking us. It's all symbology and mockery and nonsense. Yeah, here's Pluto.
But they get us ready. Like it's before they actually, you know, did the whole we're going to the moon thing. They preceded that with, you know, 10, 15 years of movies showing people in space.
Exactly.
So people, you know, it sort of builds it as a reality before they do it.
Werner von Braun made a book called Project Mars in the 1950s. He wrote this book about a group of people that went to Mars led by a guy named Elon. Okay? Led by a guy named Elon. What are the chances? Right? And this is Elon's rocket that he wants to take to Mars. And he said a month or so ago, hey, he tweeted, I want to redesign the Mars rocket. I want to make it pointier. Let's make it pointier.
Pointy. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. I mean, this again, pure mockery. It's ridiculous. And, you know, you can make up all sorts of theoretical physics and be lost in that world forever and have a good old time. I'm not about that. I'm about what can we prove? What can we show? What does physics actually prove? You know, if you start fooling around with 10 dimensions, done all this stuff, you can, anything will work for you. Anything will work. I'm not into that. I'm into, you know, where are we? This is what I call it. People talk about simulation theory. I like it. I call it, we live in a physical simulation. I like it. We're here, manifested here with a spark of God in us that we might some call souls. So our soul is a piece of God, and we're here experiencing this realm, expanding the mind of God. Okay. And we're having this adventure. We chose to be here. In my opinion, my belief, don't have any receipts for that, but I believe that we chose to be here with amnesia, experiencing this place like for the first time. And our goal here is to maintain the control of our soul and not break anyone else's free will. That's it. That's our total goal. See what we can create. See how we can, you know, just be good people and help others. If everyone helped the person to their left, we'd all be good. Well,
exactly. And as we all know now, that's exactly, you know, the opposite to what those who wish to be in control are pushing, you know. Like I saw like a news report thing and the headline was, is it time to ditch your unvaccinated friends?
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's all about division. That's what they're pushing. And this whole, you know, wokeness stuff. It's all division, where what we need is, you know, obviously more collaboration. You know, divided we fall, right? And together we're strong. So it's so obvious what they're doing.
Right.
It's a nice one.
Yeah, it's the truth. I mean, I ask people, you know, when did you learn about the globe? At what age did you learn about the globe? And did they show you anything other than cartoons? And the answer is before you can talk. And no, they only showed me cartoons. There's no photos of Earth. There's no videos of the space station being built, which would be the most videoed construction project in the history of construction projects. You know, you would think that they would assemble it on Earth first, but they didn't. I mean, every single thing about space is ridiculous, right? Why do the astronauts have stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame? Okay, because they're actronauts, right? You know, why in the National Buoyancy Lab do they have this photo, this painting, which is a Vitruvian man being handed a power tool by a scuba diver with a rocket trying to break through the dome? Okay, what's going on here?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good.
That's in the National Buoyancy Lab, and they have green screen. There used to be videos of it, and during the YouTube apocalypse, they got taken down. But they had green screens in those pools, okay? And the question was put to NASA, you know, why do they have green screens? And they said, well, to just make it more realistic for the astronauts doing the training. Well, if you know anything about green screens, the astronauts wouldn't see, it wouldn't look more realistic. It's only for making movies. Boom, pool, what they show us on TV, okay? You know, we've caught them so many friggin' times. It's not even funny. Right. It's not even funny. It's sad that people still insist on believing nonsense. They've traded in their common sense for nonsense.
Well, I mean, and they're doing this. What's happening now is, you know, what we're dealing with now, the same thing. There's no photos or microscopic images of it. There's no proof that it's ever you know, they haven't even isolated it, anything, have they? So it's the same kind of, it's the same game plan, isn't it?
It's the same thing.
It's all built on.
Every 100 years, they do the same thing. You know, 1920, we had the Spanish flu. Everybody was wearing face diapers, getting this in their arm. 1820, cholera. 1720, the plague. Same story again and again. Right. And then comes the Great Reset. Now you've been like, you're a Tartarian researcher, so you see it. All of this stuff. I mean, are we going into a Great Reset right now?
Well, definitely we are. I mean, of course, look around. I think the question is, what kind of a reset? You know, ours, or is it going to be theirs? Because they've had the last three, so. You know, I think 3 strikes and they're out, right? And this time it's ours. So,
well, maybe.
I mean, and this is
we can only hope.
Yeah, that this is why we're out doing what we're doing, because it's just, you know, this kind of information, it raises consciousness and it gives hope. Whereas, you know, 5 years ago, before all this kind of stuff came in, all this, you know, conspiracy sort of research was negative. You know, you'd sort of learn all this stuff and it was really just, everything's bad, we're stuffed, rah, rah, rah. But this research, we can see, you know, with flat earth, it's like, well, we're the center of creation. And with Tartaria, it's like, well, look what we used to be. We've achieved a lot and we can get back there. And when you understand that, it also shows you that something has come in and messed with that, you know. It's,
were we messed with? Who are the people that are really running this place? You know, the thing is, they're not coming from outer space unless you call this the outer space, something beyond Antarctica. Everything is here across the flat plane. It's not coming from out there. Okay. Other than maybe demons, you know, who knows? But you know, we're here in this system. You know, have you ever seen this map? This was discovered in Hawaii. It's showing all these other continents out there. Why the lie? Why would they lie? Well, they're hiding more land. They're hiding who we are. They're hiding our true power. They're hiding resources. They're keeping us as slaves. Maybe these are people that know what this place is, and they make multi-generation plans, right? They know about keeping their bloodlines pure. They tell us to just, they're just weakening us by just dividing us. They divided. We have to stay united. The division of countries is fake. It's all fake division, right? Countries all the way down to sports teams. Okay. It's all division and diversion. If we all would just come together and realize, nobody has power over us. The only power they have over us is in our imagination, right? The only power your psychotic Australian government has over you is in your imagination.
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, it's complying that gives them power. It's like what you focus on grows. So if you're focusing on the telly, then fear's growing. If you're focusing on the truth and expanding, your heart consciousness, then that's growing. Because at the end, we're the creators, right? We're at that point, we create reality, and together we can definitely make something better.
I just want to show you one thing, one play, right? If you want to go to Western Australia from Santiago, it goes all the way up here. It goes all the way over to China and Japan, and all the way to Singapore, and here. That's the actual flight route. And when you look at it on a flat Earth map, it goes up, across China, Singapore, Western Australia, straight line. Airplanes fly straight and level over an Earth plane, right? Not air globe, not sea curve, sea level. Airplanes don't fly upside down on a spinning ball. It's ridiculous, right? Think about all the different angular momentums of all the different areas of the Earth. I mean, imagine if you left the North Pole and flew to Ecuador and tried to land on a runway that's moving sideways at 1,000 miles an hour. Okay, where are you going to get that sideways tangential speed? It's ridiculous.
No, yeah, there was that video of the it was animation of showing a plane come in, like in the Earth moving, and it just
you get it.
It just doesn't make sense that you can land in a straight line.
It makes what I call nonsense. Just as a thought,
yeah, I did a video on that actually on my other channel. Because we've got senses, right? And it's kind of like you were talking about the physical world, and all this spirituality is, whatever we are at the moment, we're here and we're physical, and we've got physical senses to guide us around, and we're here for an experience. So you can be spiritual, but I mean, we also should be present.
Yeah, but we are spiritual beings.
Don't match your sense.
You're right. We are spiritual beings.
We are, yeah.
We're having the spiritual physical experience in this physical simulation, and we have free will, and we're here to experience this now, this present moment. The present is a present. Okay, words have meaning. Arctic, Antarctic, right? Everything is right there in front of us to use. They're casting spells on us with their spelling, right? It's all here at our fingertips and front of our faces, right?
Authority. Most of that word is author,
right?
So who's writing your story,
right?
It's everywhere. His story, Christ Mass,
yes,
break fast.
American language is the most weaponized language of all. Here's the challenge for any of your listeners. I'm assuming most of your Tartarian followers know the Earth is flat, but for those of you that don't think I'm crazy, I'm offering 2 Bitcoins for 1 proof of the globe. Okay, what you do is you get the app, okay, and every day there's a featured video. Watch the featured video every day for 2 weeks, and if you still think the Earth is a globe, send me the proof. But before you do, hit the frequently asked question, the question mark button, and up come the top 21 questions. Guaranteed your question's in there, and it's answered in video format, multiple videos that YouTube won't serve you. They're hidden from you, right? You can get the app on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. It's the highest rated app in the store on both of them. You need an iPhone 6 or better, an iPad, or on Android on 8.0 operating system or higher. And it's a one-time charge, $3 American. What's that in Australian? Like $50? I don't know. I don't know what the Australian currency is.
Yeah, probably 500.
Right. It's $3 American. And just read the reviews. The reviews will turn you into flat earther. But just know on the Android, there's already a Flat Earth Society takeoff of my app, trying to get people to buy that app instead. if you do, don't send me an email telling me my app sucks, because that's not my app. It's by the Flat Earth Society. For those of you that don't know, is a disinformation government-run website to make you laugh at flat Earth and never look at it. So all the stuff on there is nonsense. So use your common sense that God gave you. Don't trade it in for nonsense.
Something we're sadly lacking at the moment, and we'll leave the links below for Dave's channel and his app, and I think you've got 2 channels, haven't you? And all those kind of details you'll find below.
Yep. You can find me just if you lose those links, theflatearthpodcast.com, theflatearthpodcast.com, the same Facebook, Instagram, theflatearthpodcast.com. Check it out and check out the app. The app is super good. And if you're already a flat earther and you're trying to wake up a spouse, a friend, a cousin, or whatever, a stranger, gift them the app. Get the app for them and just have them take the challenge. Tell them there's 2 Bitcoins in it for them. That's like 80 grand. Okay. And they won't be able to do it. They'll do it and they'll be like, wow. And then their whole world of light that will open up. And what difference does it make? People say it makes all the difference in the world. My life has changed inexplicably since I found out the earth has been flat, and all for the better.
Yeah. And I think even more so now, because it just shows people, hang on, there are people that are lying to us. You know, if they haven't seen it now, this will definitely push them over the edge.
Right. Then the flat earth, once you see it, you can never go back. All right, Campbell, I appreciate the time, and I'll see you.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Cheers, mate.
Bye.
Have an awesome day.
Bye.